My name is Benjamin Wright. I am a senior lecturer and joint subject leader for the illustration BA Honours.
My name is Sam Rowe and I'm a senior lecturer and joint subject leader on BA Illustration.
The illustration course is a great opportunity to match your creative interests and your creative voice with really vibrant and eternally growing vocational field where you can get a lot of work.
They often end up as illustrators after they've graduated their three-year degree, but they also sometimes end up as all sorts of other things like art directors or designers and that kind of thing. And the programme through the 3 years is about facilitating them discovering that. In their first year, there's a lot of play and experimentation and discovery. They take in a lot of stuff, and in their second year, they start to kind of position themselves in the industry and understand their own practice as a creative and where they might want to go and what's out there as well. And in their third year, they start to actually kind of externalise and realise that. By the time they stop being students, they're already not students anymore. They're kind of functioning as illustrators, and that join is seamless. They just go out into the world and do their thing.
When a student graduates from illustration at Plymouth College of Arts, we want them to be authentic, very passionate and proud of the stuff that they make in any format that they make them and for any body that they make them. So whether that's the clients that they work for, or the issues that they explore and advocate, or the materials that they use, or the stories that they tell.
They feel empowered and they feel fulfilled. They can do anything after that, really. For them to kind of develop an understanding of what a fulfilling creative practice is for them, it means that when they start to think about making money through their practice and that kind of thing, being inspired and being confident about their work, it is important, but it is still, I think, secondary to the overall fulfillment and peace in their practice. For the people that graduate with that, they're just unstoppable. You can't sort of put a dent in that once they leave. When you join us to study on illustration, you will be provided with all kinds of opportunities to engage with about any different thing that you can imagine. So we work and encourage students to explore pretty much any media or process that is interesting to them. It's quite important, I think, to get that across, because a lot of students sometimes think that they might need to only work digitally, or that they need to only work in a certain way, or only with pencil or something like that. Our programme on this course is material and process agnostic, so we would encourage students to just find what works for them, and that would mostly be through just trying out tons and tons of different stuff.
The most important thing that they experience with us is probably our studio culture. So they will benefit most from the other students that they meet and they grow up with over those 3 years. So if it's a programme where they want to work away in an attic somewhere by themselves, it's really not the appropriate space for that. This is a vibrant, exciting community that we want them to join. We do on trips. We've had various international trips in the past, visited Amsterdam and Paris and Berlin, to go to lots of exciting places like that. We also have trips to London every so often to go to various events and fairs. We go to local places as well, so whether that's just taking a coach to take, say, Ives or Bristol or to Dartmoor, just to explore and kind of make the most of our sort of local assets. So being a college right by the sea and right next to sort of the mythical Dartmoor landscape, it's really exciting. The students get a lot from that.
In a practical sense, we encourage students to just gravitate towards the things that they enjoy and to experience as many different things as possible. And beyond that, they will be set a lot of different kinds of briefs and projects that can facilitate that, I suppose. So aiming to facilitate as many different kinds of learning in as many different areas as possible.
Most illustrators are freelancers, which means that they are sort of self-employed, sort of mercenary creatives and image makers that can work for a variety of clients. The biggest challenges of being an illustrator is having to figure out what you want to make, but also sort of identifying who wants it and how you might go after that. And a lot of our graduates will find that it's maybe those first few jobs that they get, either while studying here or after graduating, it kind of tumbles into the rest of their career and often takes them to unexpected places. Illustrators are sort of traditionally known as commercial image makers, so we might work within editorials or book covers, or it might be some advertising context, or you might think about sort of narrative areas such as comics or children's picture books or all sorts of areas like that. But as a field, it's constantly growing, and students are sort of finding more and more exciting and unusual places to work within, whether it's like toy design, or working with bigger teams of people like animators or game designers and other things like that.
I think the main thing that I want to encourage is that even though we sometimes see trends in where our students go, so lots of students will end up maybe doing kids books or editorial, that kind of thing, that's mostly because we've tried to cultivate what we've seen they're interested in, rather than kind of trying to push students towards certain areas. So definitely be encouraged that if there's something you're really interested in, you will be able to find a way to gravitate towards it, because that's what it's about. That's what we're here for.